Hey everybody, welcome back to our neck of the woods. How about we go ahead and we fix our radon problem. All right, so I just posted the radon video for you guys, and I know I said I needed a lot of help, but I did post this online also, and I got several responses. So I got kind of an idea of how we're gonna fix the radon problem, and it starts with this device here. So that radon test that we did that showed that we were at a 9.1, which is well above the 2 to 4 that the EPA says is bad, cost us $140. So I figured $140 wasn't that much, but somebody online was like, dude, just buy your own tester. He showed me a link on Amazon to a tester that was only $135. So I was like, well, heck, I'm saving $5 and I can do this test like 1,000 times over. So the game plan for today basically is we're gonna install the radon tester in the exact same location and we're gonna run it for 48 hours just to see how accurate it is. Now, obviously, $100-some tester is not gonna be as accurate as like a $1,000 tester, but if we're within that range or the vicinity, then I figure we can go ahead and keep the item and go ahead and do a couple more tests and see if we can start fixing the issue. Now, I did upgrade. This is not the $135 tester. This is the $300 tester, because this guy can also attach to my phone. It goes off of Bluetooth or wireless so that I can look at it anywhere in the country, which is freaking awesome. It does more than radon. It's got temperature, humidity, CO2, particulates in the air, radon, and maybe a few other things. I'll post a picture right here to show you guys what I'm talking about. But I figured for basically double the money, why not get something that's a little bit better and hopefully maybe is more accurate. But again, I can constantly track it on my phone and I don't have to come into the house. I can see literally 48 hours a week or a month or whatever, or however long that thing holds storage before it has to like rewrite. But hopefully it works. If it doesn't, I'll just say that it doesn't work and I'll return it to Amazon and get my money back, and then we'll hire the professionals to come back out here. But game plan today is just to turn that guy on, leave the HRV exactly where it is. So 10 minutes on, 50 minutes off at a fan speed of 2. And we're just gonna see if we can get close to that 9.1. If we are close to that 9.1, I think the next step that we're gonna do is we are gonna ramp up the HRV and we're gonna just seal the hole. I don't want to spend $300 yet on a fan and all the PVC piping and $100 and some to core drill through it and then run more PVC piping all the way up to the roof line, because the PVC piping for the fan is 4 inches, so it's very expensive right now. So I don't want to waste my time or my money. So seal the hole up with like some plexiglass and silicone all the way around, like the 2-inch hole or the 2.5-inch hole that's right here. I'm gonna use some like zip tape to tape it too. And then I think we're gonna use some Tapcons and Tapcon some like plexiglass down into the concrete. But I'm gonna use the acoustic sealant because the acoustic sealant never gets hard. So if there's ever a problem and the sump pump fails, I can simply look down through the plexiglass, see that we have a problem, take those Tapcons out, and the silicone will not seal it down, or the acoustic sealant won't seal it down. I can just pull it up and immediately go to like emergency work if I need to. But that should keep the radon out from coming up there. And we're gonna see again what the HRV can do with this fan speed ramped up, because if that's got a fan speed of 1 through 5 and it's 267 CFM max, we're only using 40% of the fan, or 40% of that 267. Now the cubic volume of the entire house is around 39,000. So how we got to the 267 HRV was you're supposed to take your cubic volume, divide it by 60, I don't know why, and multiply it by 0.35, and that gives you your CFMs. So we came in at 227, so our HRV is more than what we need. So if that thing is at 267 at a fan speed of 5 and we run it longer, let's say we turn it to the 2040, so we're doubling our time of runtime throughout the day, and we're way increasing that fan speed by another 60% or 267 max, we should be able to hopefully suck a lot of this radon out and blow it outside and get fresh air in return. And with the sump pump hole sealed up, we shouldn't have to worry about any radon coming up through or that affecting our blower door score now. And we don't have to worry about raising the water level in the sump over top of the 6-inch pipe, because now I actually want it to be below the 6-inch pipe. So that way, if we do end up installing a fan one day, we'll actually be sucking air out through the French drain and down in through the clean out over here. And we'll actually be pulling water or pulling air, instead of, if that was completely sealed with water, we would almost be creating a vacuum in there. The lid would probably bend down, and God forbid we were able to like suck water up through the fan. So I actually want an air brake basically in there now, but I want the pull to be completely sealed. All right, so hopefully this goes well. It comes with batteries. You just have to pull the tab, and now the thing does turn on. So we're sitting here by the internet. We do have to get the phone out. We have to get everything connected. Breathe better, live better, add device. So yeah, we need to get the cell phone. We need to connect all 3 of these up, since we do have internet in the house now. And let's see if this thing can instantaneously start to show us some radon numbers. All right, so install should be pretty easy. It's got a QR code that we'll just be able to download it on iOS, since I have an iPhone. And I am glad, again, I got the more expensive one, because this thing does have temperature and humidity, and oh, it also has barometric pressure. So we can see if the house is like too pressurized or not. And we have to adjust the intake and the outtake on the HRV. But I am glad I got those, because at least that's 3 sensors that we can match it up with the HRV and the other like little cheap ones that I got sitting around the house. If those 3 sensors are accurate and working, then the radon hopefully should be accurate also. All right, guys, that couldn't be more easy. Download the app, pull the batteries. It's gonna have you make an account. It does want you to use Bluetooth, but then later it asks you for your Wi-Fi also. So I find that kind of weird, but yeah, that couldn't be any easier of a setup. That took me a couple minutes. And again, this thing is a radon monitor from Air Things. There are several Air things that they make, all the way down from $100 tester up to like 200, and then 200 again something, and then all the way up to this $299. So there are several things, but this thing is already instantly reading, and I guess you're allowed to see like 2 things at once. So for example, we've got radon right now at 0, and we also have the particulates meter, and the particulates I guess is reading 19. I don't know what a good number is. I'm gonna have to look at all this and tell you guys in a few days after I research this. But let's go throw this down in the basement. Again, we're gonna have to give it 48 hours from here to see what this thing actually collects, because the radon still says 0, so I don't think it's gonna be instant. But you can wave your hand over this thing, like wave it in front of it, and it will automatically start to like go to other settings. But we are not gonna run this thing all the time. We will when the house is finished, but I don't wanna basically destroy this thing, and I probably will, because every time I saw or cut drywall, etc., there's gonna be so much particulate in the air, it's probably gonna clog this sensor. In fact, just walking down into the basement, we're now at 25 particulates, so it is increasing. But we're just gonna probably do this over a 4-day period. So we'll leave this run for 48 hours and see if we can get exactly where the professionals are. And then we'll go ahead and mess with the HRV. We'll seal the pit, and then we'll do another 48 hours and see where we went down to. If we're not down below 2, which I don't think we are, we're gonna basically have to buy a fan and get all the PVC piping and everything hooked up. But I do wanna ask you guys one thing, and this is very, very important. I thought about this yesterday. Let me know what you guys think here. So most radon systems, again, what they do is they bring 4-inch pipe from a sealed sump pump pit. They come outside, they punch out. You also have to have an electricity line too. So we're gonna have a 4-inch hole here, and we're gonna have probably like a 1-inch piece of conduit to run the electricity. And then you have to run PVC all the way up beyond the roof line of 4 inches and stuff. And that's how you normally do radon mitigation. But why couldn't I hook the fan right to the 6-inch clean out? How is that any different? If the sump pump hole is completely sealed and the fan is sitting right here, then it's gonna suck air. If there's no water in the sump pit, it's gonna suck air out of the pit and all the way around the French drain, and then we don't have to core drill. I still need electricity though, so I will have to core drill a little bit. But we could put the fan right here on this 6-inch clean out with a reducer. And then if I ever need to actually clean that out, I can simply just disconnect the rubber coupling and stuff. But go from a 6-inch to a 4-inch reducer, and then we can run the 4-inch PVC up back here. That way it's not so ugly, and like people really aren't seeing it up front from the street. But honestly, if we dig down and we close all of these vent holes, because unfortunately I use the same French drain pipe and that pipe's not solid, but dig down far enough, seal as many of these holes as we can, why couldn't I just use my radon mitigation on that? It should do the exact same thing. It should still suck everything out of the French drain and the sump pump. It will just be back here, and install will be so much easier, and I don't have to core drill through my house or worry about water coming through the siding and having a leak point, etc. But let me know what you guys think about that. If we do have to do that, let me know what you guys think, if we can tap into that instead of actually doing what everyone normally does. All right guys, it has been 3 days on the testing for the radon, and unfortunately I have already got it boxed up and sent it back to Amazon. So the 3-day testing revealed that that thing is just not accurate. We basically had an apples to apples comparison. We had the professionals come out and do it for 48 hours, and this radon tester actually needed a full 72, and the results are nowhere even close. The average from the professional reader was 9.1, and the results that I got yesterday when it finished was 4.9 as a high, and the average was only 3.0. So literally 3 times less than what the professional meter has. And with that being that far off, I just don't feel comfortable having that in my house and believing that as it's giving me readings. So I went ahead and already returned it yesterday. It's $300 back in my pocket, basically, plus tax. So it looks like we're gonna have the professionals back out here. We're gonna do another 48 hours. We're gonna ramp up the HRV, like I said. We're gonna do the 2040, and we're gonna ramp up the fan speed, and we're gonna completely plexiglass the hole today. So that way nothing can get in, nothing can get out, and we'll see what the professional number comes down to. And again, that really was an apples to apples comparison, because on the second day it absolutely poured for a couple hours during one morning. So water was going down through the soil, getting into the French drain, being taken into the sump pump, etc. So very, very, very similar, except for 1 day extra. But again, the max that we had on day 2 during the rain, I think, was only 4.9 when the professionals was all the way up to 10.8. So I just don't feel that that thing was accurate at all. And again, didn't feel safe having it in my house and trying to play with the numbers and everything, even though I could do the test 1,000 times over. Just did not feel comfortable using that. So I'll get my $300 back, and we'll spend another $300 with the professionals. So again, we'll seal the hole, we'll ramp up the HRV, see what that number does, and then we're gonna have them back out a 3rd time when we go ahead and basically purchase a radon mitigation system with a fan, and we go up and either pipe out through the wall, or if you guys think that we should use that clean out in the back, let me know. But that's at least the game plan for right now. All right guys, just got back from the store, picked up a nice thick piece of plexiglass. So I'm gonna drill a hole where the pipe's gonna go through. I did decide not to cut the plexiglass in half. I'm just gonna take the Fernco fitting off of the pipe because it's easily taken down. I'll show you in a second when I get down there. But if there's ever a problem, we can just take the Fernco off of the one going up and the Fernco fitting going off to the side in a 90-degree. We can lift the lid off, and then we can get down into the sump pump very quickly. And again, all we're gonna use is the sound acoustic sealant to the concrete, to the plexiglass, and that should make for an airtight seal. Now, what's kind of funny is Aaron just called the radon guys back and said, hey, can you come over and do another test? And they gave her a lot of pushback, and they're like, you know, you really don't want to spend that money, nothing's gonna happen. Well, now it's gonna be interesting to see. I don't think they know that we have a blower door score of basically under like a 1. In fact, we are closer to probably a 0.5 blower door score. And that's because I did forget the kitchen island. The 1.5-inch pipe up there was completely open. So if you follow the kitchen pipe all the way down over to here, all the way down to the 3-inch and all the way out to the 4-inch right there going outside, that was a completely open hole. I don't know how many air exchanges per hour every inch of size increases. I know Matt Reisinger said it on his video one time that like a 2-inch hole equals like how many air exchanges you're losing, but we've got an 1.5-inch hole that was completely open. So anyway, the fact that we have such an airtight house and the HRV was running so little amount of time and at such a low air fan speed, I really think that if we seal this hole up, we are going to see a drastic difference. But they didn't think so, so we're going to see who's right, us or them. But I got to clean this concrete up a little bit, put a bead of the acoustic sealant around there, and then since that hole is not 100% centered, I just got to figure out where I need to drill this hole. And then we can bring the wires up through, slip it down over top of the pipe. We'll put that 90-degree back on there with the 2 Fernco fittings, and then we'll be able to constantly look down in there and know that we're not malfunctioning down in our pit. But again, hopefully we'll basically be sealed from radon gas coming up from there. That didn't work too well. Okay, all done. Unfortunately, the concrete is not 100% flat, so there is some more sound acoustic sealant in some spots than others, but I forgot tap cons. I am gonna have to get the tap cons and use them because we have to push this down in some spots where you can see it moving up. But yeah, that stuff stays liquid basically forever. Zip tape on my crack that I just put through it, and then we got some spray foam that I'll put down around the hole right there, just a tiny little bit. But it should work perfect, that you can see down into the pit completely. If the pump ever goes bad or anything like that, you'll know right away. And actually kind of building these double 2x4s up with the sound acoustic sealant underneath the 2x4s, in between the 2x4s, and the spray foam that I used in case this thing ever overflowed. That's kind of pointless now because this lid will basically seal water from coming up there 100%. But I guess if it does ever try to overflow, we're kind of like double protected now with the wall assembly and with the plexiglass that we put in. So I'm gonna spray foam this up. We're gonna wait for the radon guys to come back over, and then we'll see what they charge me or what the new numbers are gonna be. All right, guys, back again. The radon guy has left. We have completed now test number 3, and honestly, I'm as confused as you guys are. So the first test at 9.1, I can almost 100% guarantee the HRV was not running appropriately. I do not think it was coming on for 10 minutes every single hour. And this last test that we did just with the professionals, it wasn't even coming on every 20 minutes every hour, because we kept constantly having to come out here and shut the breaker down, shut power off, and get it to restart. So I am 99% sure the problem with our HRV is inside of the unit. We have a bad relay and it is not turning off and turning on when it is told to. So we either have to send the entire unit back and get an entire unit in exchange, or if it's easy to swap out the electronics inside of the unit, then I basically have to do that and swap out the motherboard. But it is not working like it's supposed to. But why we had that 9.1, I don't know, unless again, the HRV was just not running. It's obviously running at a 40% fan speed. It's only running for 10 minutes every hour if it was, and that's how we got that 9.1. We know the Amazon reading was 3.0, and now here we are with the professional reader with an average over, again, a 2 to 3 day period. We are down to now 3.7. And it still rained. So we're pretty much always apples to apples when we're doing this test. It's raining a little bit here and there. So now I'm thinking, well, what the heck? Is the Amazon reader actually reading accurately? I don't think so, because the pit was open. The HRV was only supposed to be trying to run 10 minutes every hour at that 40% fan speed. But now here we are with the professional reading coming in at 3.7 with the sump pump hole sealed, running at 100% fan speed, and we're trying to get this thing to run for 20 minutes every hour. So it looks like I was the one that was correct. The HRV can suck the radon out of the house and blow it outside. It's just that we have more problems here dealing with, can we get the HRV to actually run properly? So I guess for right now, we need to focus on not really radon mitigation, but we need to focus on actually getting that thing fixed so it does exactly what it's supposed to do. But maybe we did go, if we forget the Amazon completely, maybe we did truly go from a 9.1 down to that 3.7, and maybe it has nothing to do with the HRV at all. It simply just has to do that I sealed the hole 100%. So I'd love to know what you guys think in the comments. What do you think brought us from a 9.1 down to a 3.7? Was it that the HRV was running maybe, I don't know, 60% of the time? Because Aaron and I were constantly coming out here, timing it like, when does the 20 minutes start? Is it on the hour? We come out here on the hour, listen to it run for 20 minutes, and then it turns off. So good, we're good for that hour. But then we weren't doing it all the time. And again, we probably powered that thing down 3 or 4 times. So was it probably helping? Yes. Was the sealing of the hole probably helping? Yes. But let me know what you guys think of what was the biggest contributing factor. Was it the HRV ramping up when it could ramp up and work? Or was it simply just us sealing the sump pit hole? And by the way, our blower door score is going to be better than we ever thought, because I found another leaking hole that I forgot to seal up when we did our blower door score. Not only did I forget this 1.5-inch hole right here going down through the kitchen island for the kitchen sink, I also forgot the 2-inch line over in the master bedroom for the shower. That was completely open also, and both of those go all the way outside. So we had roughly a 3.5-inch hole through this house directly outside that was affecting our blower door score. So we're definitely probably going to be passive house rated now to get under that 7.3, or at least close to it. The only way we'll be able to tell is we are going to do another blower door score once everything gets painted and mud and taped and everything, and the sump pump, etc., or the septic goes in. It is going to be interesting to see what we can actually get down to, but I think we are going to be well under that 7.3 rating that we got, or even the 5 whatever when we had the fans sealed up. But I'm gonna wrap this video up here, guys. So again, let me know down in the comments below what you're thinking. Again, I was gonna do the radon mitigation in this video, but the fact that our numbers are under 4 now and into the low 3s, and if you look on that chart again, I think the lowest was almost like 2.0 and the highest was like 5.0. So I think we're definitely safe to be in the house with the HRV doing kind of what it's doing in the sump pit hole sealed. So not really worried about the mitigation. We'll probably do that at a later time. Let me know again, should we do it in the sump pump? Should we do it outside there on the clean out? And I wanna hear what you guys have to say about how we got our numbers so good. But I will be back fixing that HRV or replacing that HRV, and then we'll go from there and get some more videos out for you guys. So let me know what you guys think, comment down below, and I'll see you guys next time.